Hello, community of Roastbrief. We're here to talk about the promotion of Michael Chadwick to new managing director on Cheil UK, also with Chris Camacho, CEO of Cheil UK. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Guys, we'd like to start asking a little bit about, with this new appointment. Michael, what are your main priorities and how do you see your role shaping Cheil UK future?
Thanks. Yeah, so I think our view is that solutions that clients need in the modern world are changing all the time. So there's not one size fits all in terms of what clients need, and what works one week or one day has already changed by the next. And as a business, we're very excited by this change. We're not scared of it. We embrace it. And the core kind of focus of the solutions group within the business is to make sure that we have the right capabilities to deliver against those evolving needs of clients. So to be flexible, to be fluid, and to be future-facing in our capabilities. So to make sure that we can deliver what clients need yesterday, but also tomorrow. And really to have those capabilities in place, and then to have a culture and a ways of working that means people can collaborate and bring capabilities together in new ways all the time so that we can innovate. Because our business is all around innovation, trying to deliver new things to market in order to help clients grow quickly, have the right capabilities, and make sure that those capabilities, those people can collaborate in agile and fluid ways.
Yeah, that's great, Michael. And also, we'd love to know a little bit about Chris' perspective on this, and how do this align with Cheil's priorities?
Yeah, so I've been with the business now for 2.5, coming on to 3 years. And we've gone on a fantastic journey over that time. And obviously, Michael has been a fundamental part of that journey. Obviously, he was here before I got here, but he's been a key partner for me over the last kind of 2.5, 3 years. And he's been doing a lot of the stuff already, because we're not building from scratch, right? We're expanding on what we've built, expanding on the fantastic work that we already do for clients, but now we're looking to accelerate it and do more. And I'm just glad to have a partner, someone that can share the load with me, and be able to bring an alternative perspective. Again, I came from very much a performance background. Michael comes from a more strategic background. But when we combine our experiences, our knowledge, we've been able to create some really interesting opportunities, solutions, and services for our clients. And that's exactly what we need to do. We talk about creating solutions for brands, and what we try and always do is bring something new, an alternative perspective to that table. And that's exactly what Michael's job is. It's understanding clients' challenges, understanding business, economic, and cultural challenges that brands and our clients face, then trying to work out how do we, through our capabilities, bring solutions and services that allows us to create connected experiences, connected commerce for our clients.
Now that you're talking a little bit about connected commerce, Chris, we know Cheil UK has been positioning itself as a leader in connected commerce. How do you define this approach, and why do you think it's important for brands today?
Yeah, so I think there's two things. One is Cheil is very different from other networks. Again, I've been at 2 of the other big networks, and you were at other networks to me. We've never crossed outside of Cheil. But I think the difference with Cheil and other networks is we actually start from commerce, from the other end of the funnel, and work our way through and up. Whereas I think other brands tend to start at the top of the funnel and work their way down. And that's a big difference for us. We think about commerce, connected experiences, and that's at the heart of what we do. I think the most important thing to talk about here is actually when you think about commerce and you think about consumer behavior, we used to talk about consumer behavior being fairly linear. That's no longer the case, right? If you think about your own shopping habits, you might be browsing a website, or you might have seen something in a store, and you might remember to add it to your cart, but you might not buy it there and then. You might then see an advertising billboard, or you might even see a social post that reminds you, oh, I had that in my cart. Let me go back and purchase that, right? So the consumer purchasing experience has changed so much. I mean, go back a few years ago, you wouldn't have thought of buying stuff on social media, right? And we've seen the massive surgence of TikTok shops as an example. And that's a new behavior, right? And what we're trying to do is we're trying to understand cultural changes, consumer changes, behavioral changes, and trying to build solutions and services that allows us to adapt to how customers are shopping, and then allowing our brands that we work with to connect with those customers in the most appropriate way, trying to guide them through this ever-evolving kind of purchase funnel. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, totally. Well, now talking a little bit about this whole structure. We'd like to know a little bit about your collaboration between leadership roles. With the leadership structure now including both solution and client services roles, how will you collaborate to enhance client success? What can you tell us?
Yeah, look, I think in terms of client services and solutions, so myself and Rikke, the other MD, to me, it's very much two sides of one coin, because actually we're ultimately focused on one mission, which is bringing solutions and experiences to clients that will drive their businesses and will drive innovation in the market. So we have to collaborate very, very closely. And you know, the time that we both now been in the business, I think Rikke's been in the business for about 6 months or so. That's fortunately happened in a very natural and organic way. But it's something that we focus on every day, actually, because there's kind of no point in developing solutions and products if they're not at the service of what clients need right now. And equally, when we hear what clients need, we need to be set up right way to deliver against that from a solutions point of view. So we're kind of looking in both directions all the time by having myself and Rikke on point in both of those roles. And I think the mission is the same. Some of the areas that we explore are slightly divergent. So Chris mentioned, we're trying to find new behaviors, new areas to explore, new areas that we can innovate in as a business, that we can be first into marketing. So from the solutions team point of view, we're looking out into the world. We're looking at consumers. We're looking at technology. We're looking at what's happening in culture. And we're trying to build solutions and kind of ideate and bring creativity to what we see there. And then from Rikke's point of view and from client services, obviously we're very, very close to our clients' businesses. And we're looking at what is the real pressing need, the priority, the issue, the opportunity that's there for our clients on a daily basis. And I think the real magic is when you bring all of that stuff together. So when we actually have a really clear-eyed view of what our clients need and what's happening in the real world, when you bring those two pieces together, then actually that's where you can create stuff that is engaging, innovative, but also very commercially impactful for clients.
Yeah, now that you talk about all of these, Michael, your background includes strategy, experience, design, and technology. How do you plan to integrate these disciplines to drive innovation in digital and retail marketing? And just as you said, to nurture these whole ideas.
Yeah, look, I think a few things on that. One, a shared mission. So, you know, having a shared mission and a purpose. So Cheil, actually, the name Cheil in Korean means the first. So we're all kind of laser focused on this idea of innovating and bringing world firsts into the marketing ecosystem. I think also there's something about Cheil, I don't know what it is, but there's a kind of alchemy in the air that it attracts people who want to keep learning, I think, and keep collaborating, and they're not kind of like, you know, boxing themselves in. They're interested to explore other disciplines. They're interested to keep learning, and there's a real collaborative kind of part of our DNA that I think makes that happen. But also, I just think it's partly what's happening in the industry is that this kind of hybridization of roles, of bringing different disciplines that maybe haven't worked very closely together before, right up close to each other, is something that the top talents want to do, and that the top businesses enable, because it's actually when you bring these kind of capabilities together that you can create something new. Because if you keep doing stuff in the same process with the same people, it's really hard to get to new things and to new magic. So yeah, I mean, the other part of that puzzle is bringing in new capabilities. So it's how do you keep an eye on what else you need to bring into the business to ensure that we stay on the front foot and right on the edge of where the industry is going. And then I think underlying that, it's about having platforms that unify people and actually help to drive that kind of shared working and shared collaboration. So things like, you know, we have a platform here called Shift, which is a trends and insights intelligence platform that we built. So all of our people are kind of powered by a single source of truth in terms of information. We're doing a huge amount of work with first-party data and personalization, and actually having a backbone like of real data capabilities that we can all call on powers our people. You know, that's an engine for all of us to work with. And automation as well. You know, how can we use automation to actually make that collaboration more friction-free, to make sure that the right collaborations are happening at the right time. So some of the things I guess I talked about are more cultural. Some of them are more process-led. But all of it is about that shared mission and vision that we kind of have as a group.
Yeah, I think I'll add one thing in terms of always being on the edge of the next idea. So we have this thing. Well, it's not new, right? I mean, we run hackathons, and for me, those are a great opportunity for us to get our teams to think about a subject, a challenge, a brief outside of their day-to-day work. So we're not just confined by the work. So we're not restricted by just the briefs that come into us. We often set challenges to our people and we say, right, today we want to go and run a hackathon on this idea, and we get UX, we get developers, we get the creative guys, the strategists, all parts of our business come together and they try and solve a challenge in this hackathon environment. And off the back of that, we get numerous amounts of new ideas, innovation and opportunities for us to then go and talk to our clients about. And that for me is really, really unique to Cheil, because again, we've been at other networks and we've worked in other environments, doesn't really exist anywhere else. So that ability to be able to sit on the edge of innovation and try and understand how we can bring all of our skills, services, solutions and knowledge to the table for clients is really, really exciting.
And maybe just to add one other thing onto that, I think another thing that we've had in the business, certainly since Chris has come in, is a mindset of kind of constant reinvention. So the idea that actually the industry is changing, we all know that, it constantly changes. We're not sitting here waiting for things to settle down again and a new normal to emerge. We actually believe that the opportunities lie in that change. And so, yeah, constant reinvention as a business and not getting locked into legacy. So we don't really have any kind of legacy systems or processes that trap us as a business. which means that when a new kind of problem comes in, we can invent a new way of trying to tackle it, which is exciting. And again, I think is the kind of stuff that motivates people who want to stay at the front edge of the industry.
Yeah, for sure, it creates this whole environment for innovation, right?
Absolutely.
And now, Chris, as CEO, what do you think are the biggest challenges and opportunities you're foreseeing in this whole marketing landscape for 2025? And how are you preparing to address it? What can you tell us?
Yeah, look, I think there are many different things that are impacting businesses like us globally, whether that's the economy and cultural shifts and whatever else. But I think the biggest disruptor is going to be AI. I think it'd be remiss of us not to talk about AI, right? I think understanding how we leverage AI has been a core part of what we've been doing as a management team over the last kind of 6 to 12 months, and actually embracing it and understanding there will always be a role for humans, right? But when you bridge AI technology and human experiences and bring those two worlds together, you can create something really, really interesting. So we're actually embracing that. We're bringing it to the forefront of the conversation. I think lots of brands and businesses preach automation and preach AI, but haven't truly understood how to harness it. We believe you need to bring those two worlds together to allow you to create new ways of working, new experiences, and challenge the norms. So we see that being an integral part of our business. It's already infusing itself. And that's probably the biggest shift that we're going to see over the next kind of 12, 24 months. And I think those that don't embrace it may end up being left behind. Of course, we want to be at the forefront of technological advancements. And that's why that's probably the biggest or single biggest opportunity, but also threat for businesses like ours. I don't know if you've got anything to add on that. I agree.
Yeah, Michael, now in your new position, and with this that we were talking about with Chris, what do you think are the most common challenges clients will face today, and how will your solutions team work will provide these tailored, impactful strategies, and taking into account that we are facing this reshaping with all of these new technologies as AI?
So I'm going to start answering it almost from the other end of the telescope, from the customer or the consumer point of view. And I think one of the things that always drives me is that we know customer satisfaction with the experiences they're getting from most businesses and brands is still quite low. So people, especially since the pandemic, people had higher and higher expectations of what experiences brands could offer them. And the acceleration that in some ways we saw in terms of customer experience around 2020, 2021, then plateaued. And we haven't seen the continuation of that acceleration in many areas. So for me, we're still in the foothills, really. We're still in the very early stages of what's possible in terms of customer experience. And we talk here about, we try to connect the physical, the digital, the immersive worlds, these three worlds. And I think the possibilities of bringing digital into physical environments and connecting up the different channels around the customer in a genuinely personalized way, we're still scratching the surface. So for me, a lot of the work we want to do is around, it's actually not hard to find areas where you can understand consumer needs or consumer expectations and try and meet them in a better way. And doing that gives, absolutely competitive advantage for clients. But that gets to the other side of the equation, which is working with clients. And a lot of the things we talk about, like data and technology, are actually really hard to execute. We can talk about stuff that in principle is easy to describe. So building a business that has first-party data right at its core in a completely connected way across every channel. And it's very easy for agencies to come and say, look, that's the model. The hard yards and the hard work is in actual execution. And I think another part of what we really try and do here is lean into clients' organizations and help them to execute. Because it's not just about ideating and it's not just about finding solutions, but it's actually about delivering and executing on them. So for me, the word solution covers everything from let's create the creativity side of things, but also let's execute. Let's get inside and under the skin of our clients, help them overcome the organizational barriers they have, help them do the work they need to do to transform every day as businesses. And I think if we as an agency can do both of those things, you know, bring world-leading creativity, but also operational excellence and an ability to execute to the table, then that's a valuable thing, I think, to take to clients.
That's incredible. Now, talking about a little bit about expanding Cheil UK influence. Chris, with recent leadership appointments like Michael and key client wins like Samsung, what's next for Cheil in terms of expansion and industry impact?
Yes, I think we're going through our next phase of growth. And I think that growth is going to hinge on our new mantra, which is around being bold, being brave, and being first. So Cheil has a history of world first. We've been doing it for 50 years, right? And our name, Cheil, actually means number one, it means first. So we're really living that DNA. We're really bringing that first mentality to the table in every single conversation. However, what I do feel, especially here in the UK, is we probably haven't shouted enough about how great we are and how amazing the work is, which is why our mantra is also be bold and be brave. And that's exactly what we want to do. We want to be much bolder in our execution. We want to be much braver in the way that we explore opportunities for brands. And that is literally how we envisage our future. It's about going out there. It's about talking to brands, talking to businesses, getting under the skin of their business challenges and how we, through our experiences and our knowledge of 50 years of great success, how we can help build solutions tailored to those businesses that allows them to be able to hit their objectives, hit their growth ambitions, reach new audiences, new customers, have connected experiences that allows us to guide their customers through that no longer linear path to purchase, right? Because again, like I said earlier, that consumer path to purchase is changing, and it's about building solutions, understanding customers, being bold in what we're building for our customers, being brave in what we're designing, and hopefully continuing to create world firsts for brands. So yeah, that's probably how I'll do it. Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah, and Michael, what's your vision of this future for Cheil UK?
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm excited about the potential of what we can do, you know, like the capabilities that we already have in play and that we're bringing into the business. Really what I was just touching on, the fact that there is so much headroom in terms of the experiences that we can create. So I think it's all to play for. And to Chris's point, you know, it's all about how we can be bold and brave and first in everything we do to deliver that. But the other thing that's sort of in play in our business is we have this strategic approach to what we call +1, which is all around trying to grow incrementally from the capabilities and the business that we have. So we don't want to kind of be transforming or disrupting our own business every day. We want to be transforming, absolutely, but in incremental ways all the time so that we can grow in a sustainable way. And I think that's one of the really important things that we've tried to do over the last few years. The world's very volatile. Stuff's changing around us all the time. So how can we grow in a way where we know actually we're bedding down growth that will see us through not just the next 3 months, but the next, multi-year time horizon. And so +1 is kind of our mantra of going, let's look at what we have as a business, let's look at the capabilities we have, and then let's grow in steps out from that. So our vision takes us into the longer term, but actually takes us there in steps. And I think that's really important, because actually, if you set, very lofty visions, but you don't have a clear map of how to get there for a business and for everyone out in the business, working around all of the capability areas, it can be hard to understand, right, how do I help the business to get to that goal? And I think what's really important for us is to provide that clear blueprint, that clear map that gives everyone a sense of, right, this is how I can help to move Cheil UK forward.
Yeah, guys. Well, we're really excited to see what's in the future for Cheil, and how will this whole new environment redefine the things to do, and I'm sure you'll do amazing things. So guys, thank you guys. Thank you, community of Roastbrief. And we were here with Michael Chadwick and Chris Camacho. Thank you guys so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it. And we're really excited about the future, and we can't wait to continue going and pushing forward.
Yeah, totally. And we will keep in touch. And here in Roastbrief, we will be uploading our community about what next things you guys can share with us.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Well, guys, thank you. And I think Sebas will contact you to see the whole interview. And it was really nice talking to you guys.
Great. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you. Brilliant.
See you later. Thank you.
Take care.